Welcome inside the studio with Hubbard Street Dance Chicago. Hi, my name is Rena Butler, and I'm here choreographing a new work with Hubbard Street Dance Chicago. Wow, my first work with Hubbard Street was in 2018. I've learned a lot since then. It's nice to come back. Here we are in 2023 and feeling a bit more confident, definitely older, wiser, and coming back feels like coming back home.
There's so many exciting things about having Rena Butler here. She was a member of Hubbard Street Dance Chicago, and not only an outstanding dancer, but really she started to hone in on her choreographic talents here. She was a choreographic fellow here at Hubbard Street, and also got her Princess Grace Award through choreography through Hubbard Street. So we are just so excited. She knows the dancers, she knows how they move. It's like a homecoming celebration having her here. The piece, when I first saw it, it was actually a video that she started. She started a sketch of this piece, and I thought, oh my goodness. It's not often that you are handed a sketch of something that you can instantly see on stage.
The piece was originally, when I was just playing around with it, was originally sourced from novelist Milan Kundera, and one of my favorite novels actually called The Book of Laughter and Forgetting, and it's just a novel of a few short stories, all of them having to do with memory and history and sense of self. And the second story, called Mama, is what intrigued me the most. And it was a trio of people inside of the night. You've got to read it, I'm not going to tell you. There are no spoiler alerts. But I just felt like the tragedy and all of the beauty of that short story, it was something that I really wanted to investigate. And that was back in 2020, and since then, there are so many lived experiences that I think can correlate to the symbolism in that short story. And I just really, I think the way the work is affected now is more sourced from a personal vantage point, for sure.
To me, when I watch her, the movement that comes out of her seems sort of like a culmination of all of the movement that she's danced in her career, and somehow that's sort of like mishmashed together and become her own distinct voice.
I would describe her movement as, you will always get kind of like pedestrian gestures sometimes along the way. You might get some animated contact or faces. There will be some theatrical aspects. Sometimes a very athletic like burst of energy and choreography. And I think how she ties it all together is like the relationship between the dancers, and especially in this trio, it's very kind of self-focused on the individual, like self-discovery throughout the work, but we still have to maintain this parallel relationship towards each other, and I think that within itself also feeds into the movement.
Storytelling plays an immense role, I think, in my creation process, just because I feel like there are so many stories that haven't been told. I think I know myself, I think, as an African-American woman, and making work where I feel like there wasn't much space for us to make work in the mainstream or in the field itself. So I feel it's important for me not only to speak on my own culture, my own history, but just to illuminate things and try lots of different layers of storytelling.
We are dancing to Latin genre music, which to me I think that is very special. The relationship that she is building with all these different genres and all these different styles of Latin music, Hispanic music, I think they really embody the Latin and Hispanic communities. So I'm very excited to see people's reaction to her making a whole work around that.
These dancers are phenomenal, and I don't just mean that in a physical sense. I think their minds, they're so intelligent and they're so present. What I found is I could be freely vulnerable with them. I am in this phase now where I'm really just trying to be very honest about the creator that I am, how to be reflective of my own life experiences, and then open that up to find relativity.
Rena is funny, and her humor is just something that really binds us together as a group and can make us feel more comfortable. But a couple of rehearsals ago, she really opened up to us in such a meaningful way, and that sort of just like softened the room even more and helped us understand the work in a really personal way.
It feels collaborative. The creative process feels like it's a give and take, so it's not just like one thing in the one person in front of the room telling us what to do, but yeah, I feel like those are little triumphs for everybody to really be part of a creative process intentionally, presently, in every step of the way.
I really hope that people can be inspired with at least the phase that I'm in right now is just looking inside myself, to be able to affirm myself, feel that I don't have to succumb to the bouts of imposter syndrome, but that I'm worth it, and I'm worth it to me. And so I hope that they can walk away with that when they see my work, when they meet me, that self-validation is a huge part of loving yourself, feeling yourself, and being able to share it with the rest of the world.